This is Shannon with For Humanities. And as you can see, we are live early. We are live early because we did not want to miss this exclusive interview with Baltimore Fashion Week, Sharon Nixon herself. And there she goes. So, of course, without further ado, she has a big introduction on her own. But just to let you know a little bit about Sharon Nixon, and this is not coming from anything wrote down, it's just look. Sharon Nixon is all about fashion. As I would say, it's fashion, so kick rocks. So that's what it is. It's like if you don't understand that, then it's like, okay, you want to check your pedigree on fashion. Because this young lady here, she's all about it. She's been doing Baltimore Fashion Week. This is the 12th year that she has been going into this. Hey, Jacqueline, thank you for coming. She has been 12 years into Baltimore Fashion Week and solely doing this as her primary thing that she just loves to do. So, without further ado, we're going to go jump right on in and we're going to introduce to you Sharon Nixon with Baltimore Fashion Week. Hand clap for Sharon. Clap, 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 clap. So, Sharon, introduce yourself and tell people a little bit more about you and what you do.
So I'm Sharon Nixon. I am the founder and chief volunteer for the Fashion Umbrella Foundation. I'm also the founder and executive producer for Baltimore Fashion Week, the designer debut, lead coordinator, or whatever for the Youth Open Mic Series. It's a lot. So I'll be back every Thursday for the next few weeks. I'll be back, me and my event. So I'm here, thankful to Shannon's platform, sponsor the Big Cup. I'm like, oh, the Big Cup. Let me talk about Fashion Week. So here I am. This is our 12th year or 12th season for Baltimore Fashion Week. We started in 2006. Our first show was in 2008. And I decided to do it because I used to model and I did not like the way the production area was ran. So I said, you know what, there has got to be a better way to do this. And so when I went to New York Fashion Week for the first time in 2005, I got bit by the Bryant Park bug. So for those of you who are into New York Fashion Week, you know Bryant Park is where it all started. Well, it started at the Meat District. Then they moved to Bryant Park, and then Bryant Park moved to, I think, the theater. And now they're in this really huge post office, which is where the shows are held. Some of them, but they're all over New York now. And so when I went to New York Fashion Week for the first time, I was like, you know what, we should do this here in Baltimore. And so when I came back home, I started figuring it out. And so I had to get a mentor. I reached out to some people here and they told me no. So I contacted Brian Heath, who I'm not sure if he still does it, but he used to do Detroit Fashion Week. And he helped me. We talked on the phone. It was like July 2nd. We talked on the phone so long that I had to recharge my phone 3 times. Oh, wow. I missed my hair appointment. And I had to reschedule my hair appointment because we talked so much. And so I love what I do. I love fashion. I love, my main love is the production side of it, like the actual development and putting together of the event. And, you know, all the administrative tasks, reaching out to sponsors, coming up with the creative different ideas, the marketing. I do all of my marketing. I do all of the websites. And so I'm just a one-woman jack of all trades, I guess you can call me.
Exactly. That's what I call it. So as you guys know, and for those of you guys who know Sharon, we got Natasha, we got Jacqueline, who are live here on Periscope, who have chimed in and they are saying, hey, Sharon.
That's my Survive and Thrive tribe.
Yes, the Survive and Thrive tribe. So we definitely appreciate them coming in and hanging out with us. And for those of you guys who are catching this replay, definitely if you want to know more about Baltimore Fashion Week, be sure to connect with Sharon Nixon. And she's also part of the Fashion Umbrella Foundation, which is I'm so used to saying. But she does so many things, and that is the nonprofit side, that is the foundation side, because everything comes full circle. You know, you're supporting community, but you're also giving back so that they can continue to provide for those who are not able to provide for themselves, but they want to get into the fashion industry and be a part of fashion. So one of the things that, of course, we want to talk to you about is tell us a little bit about Baltimore Fashion Week.
So Baltimore Fashion Week started. It was we the first year. I think we had 40. I'm gonna kill this fly, y'all. The first year we had 42 designers. So, and we kept that number because when I started, it was
Mhm.
like, oh, we got to have a lot of designers to be popular.
Right.
We need to have a lot of designers, and it was maybe that's how I felt back then. And as I matured in my walk with Fashion Week, I decided that quality was better than quantity.
Right.
And so, with that being said, I'm really, 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 really excited about our show this year. The designers are just like so hot. I went live on Facebook a couple of days ago to talk about it, and it's just amazing the caliber of talent that they have. And some of them they apply for Baltimore Fashion Week, and I said, "Don't you want to do New York too?"
Oh,
So they
huh.
kind of sort of hold on, y'all. They kind of it's a mosquito flying around. I got them. They kind of
Yep.
sort of were invited to do New York Fashion Week because to do New York Fashion Week, which is our designer debut show, you have got to be ready, and they're ready. So I'm really excited, but it's a lot of work. So I start right now. I'm working on 2020 now because come January 1, the
Right.
entire event schedule for everything Fashion Umbrella and Baltimore Fashion Week and Designer Debut are all fundraisers of the Fashion Umbrella Foundation. Baltimore Fashion Week is the Fashion Umbrella's largest fundraiser. And so, with that
Wow.
being said, this year, when Fashion Week started, it was just 5 days, Monday through Friday. And then we tried the same thing in 2009, and then it dropped to 4 days, and it dropped to three. And so I had a conversation with a really good colleague of mine who's in the know, and she said, "You need to, if it's a week, it needs to be 7 days." I'm like, "Yo, I really don't want to do that because that's a lot of work." You
Right.
got to figure out what to do. You have to come up with 7 different events because there's no way right now that Baltimore Fashion Week could have 7 straight days of runway shows. It's just not possible. I'm not going to fool myself. It's not possible. I'm
Wow.
very, very particular of designers to showcase on our runway. And this year I turned away 23.
Wow.
So, and it's still trying to register. And I think when I tell them to fill out the registration form to see if you'll be approved, they don't do it because
Wow.
maybe they think they won't be approved because I'm extremely critical. Um, Baltimore Fashion Week is under this visual arts infused microscope, and so I have to be mindful of who showcases. And that's not to say that your clothes have to be all avant-garde or
Right.
high end. But if you do t-shirts, you need to do more than just a t-shirt. You have to have a complete look. And that's one of the things that or issues that I run across each year is trying to get, hey Coach Dave, is trying to get designers or creators to understand that. And so this year it's 7 days. My God. So only God, that's all I can say. So
Right.
Saturday is a kickoff party. Monday is Saturday, August 3rd is the kickoff party. Monday is Monday night at the movies with a happy hour. Tuesday is our lunch with series. And so that's everything I'm naming is new, except for the
Right.
runway show. So our lunch with series is an event where we invite industry professionals from the industry to come in and speak to our audience. And it's a lunch involved. So, Lunch with Series this year is featuring Jenna Blaha, who is a senior editor at Elle Magazine. Yes, I did with Nina Garcia, and no, I cannot afford Nina Garcia. She
Oh,
was
wow.
$20,000 2 years ago. So I
Oh,
can only
Lord.
imagine how much she is now. And back then, she was with Marie Claire. So now she's editor in chief at Elle. I can't, never, probably. But it's fine. I'll take Jenna. It's cool. We'll take Jenna. And so
Right.
Jenna will be here on the 6th of August to talk to our audience members and our guests who attend the luncheon. And so when you purchase your ticket, you get to present a question to her. I believe that I will be the one, the commentator or co-host or host with
Right.
her. So I will present the questions to her. On Wednesday, I will be resting. The entire team will be resting on August 7th, so nothing's happening on 7th. On the 8th, we have an industry party where it's by invite only. My board did approve a handful of tickets, but it's up to me if I want to release them, and I'd rather keep it invite only.
Right.
So it's like for those of you who are from Baltimore, it's like Odell's, you know if you belong. So there you have it. Friday is a meet and greet, and that's going to be held at a local restaurant. It's called Blue Dog Barbecue, and
Hmm.
it's underneath where Mustang Alley used to be. Well, I think it's Central Avenue. And so I'm trying to tie them down so they can tell me. They told me yes already, but it was in passing. I need it in writing now.
Right.
'Cause I know me getting them to do a contract is not going to happen. And we're just patronizing the restaurant. So each year, everything that I'm naming will be a constant. We'll always stay at SWF Parkway on the Monday of Fashion Week for 2020. The Saturday before Fashion Week will always be the kickoff. Tuesday will be the Lunch With series. Thursday will be the industry party. Friday will be a meet and greet at another restaurant, and I'm working on that now. Saturday is our VIP reception and runway show number one. So let me talk about that for a minute. So if you come to the runway show on Saturday, you get to sit front row. You're considered VIP. You get an invite into the VIP reception. It will be catered, and it does have open bar. So that's going to
Wow.
happen on Saturday, August 10th. And not only that, but I've always wanted to do a gifting lounge. So
Hmm.
this year we're doing a gifting lounge where, you know how Oprah has her favorite things. I'm going to have my favorite things, and I'm going to give those to the guests. So when you arrive, you get to select which gift you want, and you get to get in a cute little bag. Everyone in BFW are designers and not buyers. We do have buyers to come. Usually we don't know if they're coming. Macy's has been coming for a while, and they never tell me that they're coming until after they're there. And so they do come. This year. We're taking an extra step to invite buyers for both our Baltimore and our New York show.
And
Oh,
we
that's from
have a
Periscope. That's cool.
yes, isn't that cool?
You're so fancy,
Hi,
Sherry.
officially Rick. Oh, I'm only fancy because Coach Dave is the man.
Well,
So,
both of y'all fancy because I don't have it yet.
so yes. So thank you, you guys, for all your comments and your filling in some of these blanks and stuff. So I thank you guys for filling in. Hey, Coach Dave, and we got Jacqueline and Natasha, and we have one of our new friends, Vancouver, something like that, but that's okay. Hi. So as you guys know, we got Sharon Nixon with Baltimore Fashion Week here, and she was just kind of going over some of the great things that are coming out of Baltimore Fashion Week. So let us know, where is this going to be hosted? And you kind of mentioned a little bit just a minute ago, but when? What is the date for those who are looking to possibly, check it out?
The date is August the 3rd through August the 11th.
Great. My birthday is August 8th.
Oh, so you coming?
I know I need
It's an
to.
industry party. Are you coming?
No. Yes, that's what I need to do. I
You
need
gonna
to
come
be
for
there.
real?
It's been like 5 years. What has it been?
I
Seven,
know,
10.
right? Shit, are you coming for real? Don't lie. We'll talk
Oh,
offline.
yeah, we'll talk because I got to put that in the schedule to do it. So we're doing, again, the interview. Today is Sponsor the Big Cup Thursday. And for those of you guys who don't know what Sponsor the Big Cup is, this is actually the big cup. It's actually a big cup. And it's a big cup and it's filled with water. And then, I'm usually drinking from this big cup. But just to kind of tell you a little bit about it, and then we're going to go back to Sharon Nixon and give you a little bit more information about her and what she's doing, and just a little bit about why she does it. So, but Sponsor the Big Cup was something that just kind of came by way of God and said that, okay, I was requested, was saying that, okay, I need to get this big old cup because for those of you guys who don't know, I am a cancer survivor and going through that whole journey, it's hot, you're trying to flush the system, get all that stuff out. During the time when I was just getting done with treatment, I would be hot. Well, I still am hot, but you want to drink a lot of water to get all of that chemo out of your system. So Dr. Landry told me to go get this cup or to go get a cup, get something, drink a lot of water, basically. So I said, okay, let me go find a big old cup so I can sit during my broadcast and be able to kind of still be drinking water and speaking with you guys. So I went out, I found this cup, I saw it, I was like, wow, that's a big old cup. Let me get that. I could fill this up and I could drink this whole thing. This is like a gallon. It looked like it is. And I said, okay, I could get this. So I was asking for sponsorships and I was looking for folks to be sponsors, and nobody actually quite sponsored, even though there's folks coming on the broadcast, but they didn't quite sponsor. So then the minute I brought this big old cup into the scene, people started commenting on the cup. The cup got like its own fan page. And it was every time when I would come on, it was like, where's that big old cup at? And I was like, yeah, okay, fine. Here's the big cup. I'm drinking, blah, blah, blah. People were like, okay, that is a big cup. We got Hot Cat who on here. Well, she was on here. She wanted to put chocolate mint in the cup. Natasha wanted to put hot chocolate in the cup. Jacqueline, she wanted to put coffee. Everybody wanted to put different things in this cup. Bunch of coffee, fill it up. So when I was drinking from it, I said, you know what? God said, just ask people who want to sponsor this big cup. So I said, are you serious? And I said, okay, without skipping a beat. And I said, well, who wants to sponsor the big cup? And then at that point, the sponsorship started rolling in. And it's been after the fact, it was like, what? My cup runneth over. It's like, yes. So every year when we're doing Survive and Thrive, we bring out the big cup, and we only bring it out during the time we're doing a lot of fundraising. And there you have it. Sponsor the big cup. So as you see, you get interviews, you get promo about your business, about what you're doing, and you get to share it with everybody. So sponsor the big cup Thursday is now, it's $35. You could be a sponsor if you like, bit.ly/sponsor the big cup. So that's that. So back to Sharon. Now, Sharon, tell us a little bit about why did you start Baltimore Fashion Week? I know you said that, of course, you was a model with them long legs and all of that, but tell us a little bit why and how did Baltimore Fashion Week? What was the purpose behind that?
Being a model when I was younger, although I was asked to walk during the New York show this year, and I said no. Because I can't do it. So I wanted to, I'm very partial to professionalism when it comes to events. And some events I was in and some events I would attend, they just didn't cut the mustard for me. So, and I knew it was a different way that it could be done. I just didn't know what that was. Because I have OCD, ADHD, whatever. Everything has its place in my life, and I'm very organized. And so when I went to New York to my first New York Fashion Week show, I cried the whole show. Not because anything was wrong, because it was just so beautiful. It was so organized. I got the opportunity to go in the back and see the production area. It was so organized. It wasn't clothes all over the place. It wasn't chaos. It was just beautiful. And I just stood against the wall and tears were just flowing like this. Why am I crying like this over somebody else's stuff? And so then, on my ride home on a bus, I thought about it and I was like, you know what? We need to do that here in Baltimore. We need to do that here. And so then I came back and I thought about it. And I was working for a nonprofit at the time. And my son and his best friend came to my job and they were just stopping by because it was like a really family oriented organization. So your kids could come past and it wasn't a problem. And so when he came, I yelled over the banister, Antoine, I'm doing Baltimore Fashion Week. And he said, "Oh, okay." He said, I mean, that was just it. No, go mom. No, none of that. It was just like
Right.
crazy. So ever since then, I did the work. There's a lot of people that got me to where, I mean, a lot of people subliminally that I don't even think they know, like they are responsible for number one, my writing skills. So Tiffany Turner, Tiffany Thomas Smith was her name, but she got married, so it's Tiffany Turner. She used to read my press releases and she would rip them to pieces. And I would save every one that she did until I learned how to write similar to her. So she has a
Mhm.
degree in journalism, I believe. I don't know if she has a bachelor's or master's, so she's a writologist. And so my goal was to write like her and to leave an impression like she did with me when she would correct my work. So there are a lot of people along the years that have kind of sort of molded me to be the person I am today, especially with my writing. And my marketing came from, I used to have this same thought process like a lot of people do here in Baltimore, that your flyer must really be busy, busy, busy. And in
Right.
2009, it was called, oh my God, A Fashionable Dream. And that was, I used to do all these themes. So I dropped the themes. I think, I don't know if we did one last year. Yeah, we did. Last year was the last year for the theme, any type of themed event, for Fashion Week. So it was a fashionable dream. And this woman called me, and she was from a publication, and she said, "I love your work," but she said, "Why do you have so many words on it?" I was like, "Well, so people can know where to go." She said,
Mhm.
"If you create it right, they'll want to know more." And so she was the person that told me less was more. And so I've always adapted that in our marketing. So if you pay attention to if you haven't, or if you have paid attention to our marketing for Jenna, it's been through three different phases. Usually
Right.
things are threes with me. So in the past, it would be just a placeholder for the website. Then it would be something I woke up and like, oh yeah, let me do this. And then it would be the creme de la creme. So now our website that you see now is the final creme de la creme. There will be no more ingredients added. That will be it. And so I love I love fashion, but I think I love production more. I just like to look good. And I like when I walk down the street for people to take a second look. Not in a second look like, oh, let me go talk to her. Not nothing like that, but more of, oh, that's different. I would never think to wear
Right.
that together. So I tend to kind of sort of dress against the norm, and I don't follow anybody else's drum. I never have. There's a video on my page of me when I was 7. I'm like, is that where it started? But I love fashion, but I think I love production more. I love the aspect of putting it all together, seeing it come to life. My team is they can be very outspoken, which is good. You have to be in this industry because I don't want it to seem like all the ideas are mine and I do everything. But I do have a team behind me. I'm just always in the forefront, and I'm the one that does the most. So anything that needs to be done, like finding the venues, reviewing the contracts, writing the press releases, updating the blog when I can, sending out emails, creating the marketing materials, uh, lining up the designers like I am right now for New York. I do all of that before the production team gets it. Are you tired yet, Shannon?
Uh-uh. Did you guys hear all of that? Did you guys hear all of that? That's a lot. And then just looking at the fact that she is doing that, and in the show, as you could say, she's in the front of the house and she's in the back of the house. Regardless to how you're looking at it, that's what it is that she's doing. And to be able to do that, and if you haven't checked out some of what she's done, we're going to look at a little bit of it. Oh, she said nail color is black or blue. What color is your nails? So let's
Oh, it's
show them.
black, and my ring fingers are either matte or a different color. So this is silver, and my nails are black.
Yes, hot cat. There you go.
Hi,
She asking the
hot
questions. So yeah, so that's where you got it. So you're going to actually see a little a video of a fashion show that she did. It's on her website now, and we're going to kind of jump and look at that. But right now, we want to jump right on into looking at the website for Baltimore Fashion Week. So if you guys are ready for that, we're going to go ahead and check it out so you guys can see it, and she could either walk us through. So Sharon, would you like to bring it up on the screen, on the share screen, so you can kind of
I can do
navigate?
that. Oh, I
Yeah.
can. Let me take this stuff down because I got a lot of windows open over here. Sure, I will do that.
And then you could like navigate it.
Let me pull it up first. I'm gonna bring it. Excuse me. There she is. She's so
There it
cute. I'm sorry.
is.
I did this, y'all. I'm so excited. I love me. So this is my baby. This is baby number one. So all of my programs and my websites that I do are all my babies. I love them dearly. If they don't have a website, yeah. Well, anyway, so this is the Baltimore Fashion Week site, and when I decided to change it, this was done in a matter of 1.5 days. So if you remember what the site looked like before, it was really dark, and dark meaning the background was black. And I was like, oh yeah, let's make it black. And then I went and looked at what the grandfathers and grandmothers were doing with their site.
Right.
And I was like, you know what? I have too many high-end fashion industry people contacting me and asking me questions. So I need to step my game up for Baltimore. Because the
Right.
first, if somebody hears about Baltimore, the first thing they talk about is homicide and the wire. And we have
Uh-huh.
more than just that. I mean, we have some show enough fashion here in Baltimore. I mean, I was down the harbor the other day and I just kept stopping people. I used to take pictures of them on my phone, and I had a Instagram page called Everything Fashion. But then that got kind of weird. Me stopping people, asking them to take their picture. It didn't work out well, so I stopped.
That's funny.
It was just too weird for me. So this is our homepage, and this is a logo that I just had designed. So previously, when we first started on the Butterfly Productions, we had a woman it was these butterflies and this woman behind the wings. The woman's name was Amanda. That was our first logo. And then we had the Baltimore Fashion Week where the woman was sitting on a W. And I needed to create a new, because we're going in a completely different direction. So I had to remove myself from the past and move forward. And this is the logo that I had
Hmm.
designed, and I absolutely love it.
I
Um,
like it too.
Thank you. So the about page is very short and sweet to the point. The face you see right here behind this image is Christine House. And this image came about, we were doing a shoot for something. I think Valerie Tillman had this, or Jay DeVries, who was the photographer at the time, and Valerie Tillman was the makeup artist. Somebody saw this and was like, yo, it's called the Mystique of Fashion.
Hmm.
That's what that image was about. That was the theme for 2011. And I was like, I love that because you don't know who it is. And so what we did was we took half of her face, and Valerie did all the makeup, and then Jay, through Photoshop or whatever, I asked him to make the lines darker so it was like a puzzle, more like a mask to
Right.
hide her behind this makeup, and it just turned out beautiful. So I had all three of us had direction or creative direction for that image right here, and that was our 2011 marketing. So here are our sponsors. These sponsors right here are two top sponsors for 2018, but these are all of the sponsors we've had since 2008. And a lot of them are repeat sponsors. A lot of them are coming back this year. So by probably by Monday, no later than the 30th, the new logos will be listed, and you can come here and click this, and it'll take you to the new sponsor page. This page right here are our designers, and these designers, all the designers, all the way up to 2010. Um, I stopped because I got tired. And Shannon remembers this conversation. I was like, girl, look, I'm almost done. And then when I looked at the images, we weren't done. And then I was missing 32 images from 2008. And I was missing 20 something images from 2009. And I had to find a photographer that had all the images because I lost mine. So, word to the wise, if you love what you do, save it in the cloud so you won't lose it.
Oh, huh.
This page right here, you can submit an ad for our it was called the event booklet, but now it's called Fashion Week booklet, because the one booklet is going to cover both audiences, both here in Baltimore and New York. So if you're interested in placing an ad, you have until July 30th. I've already started laying out the booklet, and it goes to print July 15th. So all ads that aren't received by June 30th won't go in the book. And we have a surprise insert that'll be in the book this year. I'm so excited. So this is our registration page, which will stay the same.
That's
These
nice.
will once the registration ends, then the dates will pop up. So in 2020, January 1, all of these will be live, and you can begin registering for our 2020 events, even for New York, and that will be added here as well. And we also have the designer debut also has its own page. So here's my page, one of my favorite pages, our events page. The kickoff party is on the 3rd, and we have an artist performing. Jay McGraw will be performing his song "It's Your Birthday," which is really really cool. And I've been catching a lot of flack about having a performer to participate in Baltimore Fashion Week because of other people's myths or whatever about Baltimore performers. And like a couple of people, I had to let them know, like, I wouldn't put anything in front of my guests that I didn't believe or trust in. So it's a smooth adult feel, and it's not cussing or grab you this and let me hold that. It's none of that. It's
Right.
just, it's grown people stuff. So if you grown people, this is some grown people stuff here.
Right.
Monday will be at Monday Night at the Movies, where the happy hour will take place in the lobby, and then they have their happy hour drinks. And this movie theater is so chic. I love it. We were going to do something different this year, but I talked to them and I said, I don't want to do that this year. What can we do in the meantime? So they came back with, let's do a happy hour, and then people can either go see a movie or they can just come
Right.
for the happy hour and leave. So the
Mm-hmm.
choice is up to you. But next year we're doing something really, really big. It's going to be really cool. This is Jenna. She's so cool. So this is Jenna. She's with Elle Magazine. Jenna Blaha. She's really, 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 really cool. I met her when I went to Marie Claire. You all most normally would call it Marie Claire, but it's French, so it's pronounced Marie Claire. And I met her when before she left to go to work over at Elle, which is probably another floor up. And so if you watch Project Runway, when the designers went to go meet with Nina Garcia, and they had their one-on-one meeting with her, the escalator they went up is that's the escalator you go up to go into the Hertz building. But the coolest part about going in that building is that there are no buttons in the elevator. So when you go up, you have to tell the gentleman at the top of the stairs which floor you're going on, because they've already approved it on the first floor. So when you take the escalator up to the top of the escalator, there's a gentleman or a woman standing there, and you tell them which floor. They say, okay, go around the corner, and it's the second elevator. You get in the elevator and it takes you to your floor. That is the coolest thing I have ever. It was just so cool. And so I talked about that the whole time I was there. I had the opportunity to go into the closet, which was mad cool. The closet that they used to pull clothes from when they do a shoot. It was so awesome. So
Right.
that's Jenna. She's fabulous like us. And then we have the industry party on Thursday, August 8th, which is, like I said, by invite only. We have slated a location for that and for the kickoff party, and that these marketing materials will be updated soon. The meet and greet will be updated hopefully by Monday. And then we have the VIP reception, the runway show, the VIP reception, and the first runway show on Saturday, and then the runway show on Sunday. And this designer here is Anna Jalisa, and she's in New York, and she went to the Art Institute, I believe, of Pennsylvania, and she designed that. That's a wedding dress, and that's from 2015, I believe. I believe that's from Baltimore Fashion Week 2015, and I don't think that's her sister. And so this is our marketing for the designer debut. And then we have the team. So we have our hair team, the volunteers, and our makeup team. I'm not going to click it. And then we have our press. And this is an interview I had with Baltimore Fashion TV, and it was really cool in my previous office before the office I'm in now. But this is a video that Brian True did. So Brian True contacted me. And anybody that knows me knows the day of the show, you don't call and ask me anything because I'm on stress level times 40. But Brian called me kind of similar to Jay. Jay just showed up to one of my castings and he said if he can shoot. And I looked at him. Matter of fact, I looked him up and down because I'm really in a whole different head space and attitude doing any of our castings. And so he came to me and I asked Jay, I said, you got a camera? And he said, yeah. I said, okay, well, go ahead and shoot. Let me see what you have. And so Brian kind of sort of did the same thing. He said, hi, I'm a videographer and I love to cover your event. And I think he caught me. I think he caught me in the middle of me stressing or whatever. I said, sure, okay, fine. You can go into the pit. Just don't get in anybody's way. If you need me, don't call me. Talk to that guy right there. And I said, Doug, he's covering it. He's going to videotape it. Didn't sign a contract, anything with him. Pray for, honestly, I forgot about it after the event.
Uh-huh.
And this is the video he did. And I love this video so much. And I really appreciate him for doing this because this year right here was really, really rough for me. A lot of my team didn't show up. And so I had to do a lot. Like I had to run the front, I had to run the back. The line was down the hallway. We had to hurry up and get people seated. It was crazy, but we made it work effortlessly. And this is his product. And I hope I'm not going to cry because I usually cry. So I won't today because you all are watching. But yeah, that's Dave. He's our DJ. That's Kevin. That's me with the fist pound. And so here you go. Yay! Dwayne. The guy you saw, he's from Denver. We all love Dwayne. And we do not discriminate against tattoos models either. I love tattoos.
I can't say where your big girls at.
think they in here. We all discriminate. I mean, it might not be big like me, but you know. Oh my God. Okay, I won't cry.
Yes.
Oh my God. So that is okay. That is my baby. That is our designer debut at New York Fashion Week.
Yes. So look at all of that, you guys. So now, for those of you guys who definitely want to know more things about fashion and how that works, you definitely can connect with Sharon Nixon with the Fashion Umbrella Foundation. But she also has a lot of other things that she's doing. There's workshops, there are how-tos, and there's different things like that that works in conjunction with Baltimore Fashion Week, but also with the Fashion Umbrella Foundation. That is the organization that will benefit from the proceeds to be able to continue to provide services to community. So if you guys don't know, now you know. So tell us a little bit now with all of that in fashion shows. I love a good fashion show. It's just so wonderful. And just a little bit, of myself in fashion. So I've degreed in fashion merchandising. So fashion is all about what I love to do regardless of, I do all this other stuff too. But also social work is kind of like where I went down in the line. So when I look at it, I look at how to look good and how it would help a person feel good about themselves. So I can put those two together and I just really love all things fashion. So I think that was one of the reasons too that connected me with Sharon is the fashion part of it. Because at the time I was doing the social work side. So when anytime I saw anyone living that fashion side, I drew to it because I was like, oh, I could still get my hand in some fashion, even though I'm over here doing all this other stuff, which is good too, because I love people and I love fashion. So those two things are my favorite things in creativity. So tell us a little bit about you have this going on, you got Baltimore Fashion Week and everything is good. You got this grand event that's coming up, which is just fabulous, as we know, and we could hear a lot about it, all these designers. But for the person who's out there looking to become a designer and they want to be able to debut their work, what would you recommend or what would be your advice that you would like to give to them?
So they want to debut their work with us or just period?
Just period. They just want to
Okay.
get out there.
So for designers who just want to get out there, the best thing I can tell you as far as presenting your collection is to start off with samples, your sample line. And a lot of designers, because a lot of designers that showcase in our event a lot of them didn't go to school. They were self-taught.
Mhm.
And so part of my job as being the person in charge of all of it is to kind of sort of guide them. But if someone is interested in getting into showcasing their collections, they need to do their homework. And the homework being make sure that the event that you showcase with will represent your brand the way you would want it to be represented. Because you have to be careful of, because a lot of designers just want, oh, I want to do a show, I'm
Right.
doing a special. And sometimes doing every fashion show can kind of, it will diminish your brand. I have a meeting with each one of the designers for Baltimore and New York, and one of the designers told me on a conference call she didn't know that it would be this much work. And I said, what do you mean? She said, well, I just figured I would just register and show up. And I was like, well, you are registering and you will show up. But because of the type of audience we have, you need to be ready. You need to be
Right.
ready if they want to see your collection. You need to be ready. You need to have your lookbook ready. You got to have your line sheets ready. It's a lot of
Mhm.
work over here. So if you just want to pay your registration fee and showcase, this isn't the event for you.
Right.
There are plenty
And
of events here that just do just that.
now, for some folks, if you definitely don't know what a lookbook is and or a line sheet, um, one of the things, and I mean, Sharon can speak on this a whole lot better, but a line sheet is basically what you have to break down about your line, your collection, zippers, buttons, notions, finishings. You have to show everything. You have to let people see what it is that you're doing, who, what colors. You got to have all that stuff, and it's really good because it's like you're cataloging. It's cataloging
Mhm.
your line. So you need to be able to have that, and it really is good for you because it lets you know, okay, this is my line for 2019. This is my line, for this time frame, this season, that season, winter, spring, and fall. You got your different seasons of what you're going to be doing. If you're like a full house designer and you're doing everything, but if you're just doing one line at a time, you just you have it for the year. And lookbooks are, you can look that up. Lookbook is what your look is, and it's usually going to be something that is out and about. It may be in a situation, might be a scenario, or it might be in an environment, or you just got the look, straight look. People can see it, they can turn the pages, and they can look at what your looks look like. So Sharon, if you'd like to speak a little more on that, as far as designers who are aspiring to get out there in the work that they need to do in order to be seen and be taken seriously.
I'm a killer's fly for this
Oh,
last
huh.
interview tonight. So for lookbooks, we are requiring that our designers have lookbooks ready for our front row guests.
Mm,
Usually, your front row guests are those who are absolutely adore and love fashion, and they're here for all of it. And when I say all of it, they are looking at your seams, they're looking at to see if you have any ravels. They're like your worst critic, your front row guests. And so, for your lookbook, it's imperative that you have it ready for the press or for the front row guests. It could create a whole new category of clientele for you.
mhm.
You could create like new customers or get a new friend or become a mentor to someone because your lookbook is a reflection of you. And so with the lookbook being handy, you should always have that available. And sometimes I used to get, well, I don't anymore, but I used to get so surprised that they don't know that. They don't know about a line sheet. They don't know about a mood board. They don't know that when you do a sketch, it should be in color and it should be signed and it should be dated. I will not accept any sketches. I turned away at least 7 submissions this year for Baltimore Fashion Week because the sketches weren't signed and they weren't dated. And so I refused them and told them why. If you are more than welcome to resubmit, but the sketch must be signed and dated. They never resubmitted. That's fine. But I can't have submissions off of someone else's work.
Right.
And by signing it and dated it, like I have in our cloud, the sketches from the designer that's showcasing on Saturday, one of them. And I gave her back her originals Saturday at the fitting. Like, I don't need the originals. I scanned them and they were in color like I requested, because before each meeting that I have with the designers, they get a checklist of things that they need to have prior to scheduling their meeting. And so during the meeting, I go over these things with them. I need to see this, this, and this. And so it's more than just a runway show or a fashion show per se, or people just paying their money to showcase. Like, you really work towards a better collection. Some of the designers don't know that when your collection comes down the runway, it should tell a story.
Right.
Um, I talked to a designer on Saturday at the fitting, and I said, so, because I pay attention. So the way she was hanging her garments on the rack, she didn't have an order. So I went to her, I said, what's the order of your collection? She said, "Oh, somebody told me all the short dresses go together and the long dresses go together, and I almost had a heart attack." And her collection is gorgeous, gorgeous. I said, "I'm going to give you a few days, and then we're going to schedule a meeting, and I want you to show me the order of your collection." I met with another designer. She had this beautiful collection, and she had this one piece that was dated. I'm like, "Why is that in here?" But I let
Right.
them know that I'm looking at their clothes to make sure it makes sense. And so I said to her, "Why is that in here?" And she didn't have an answer. I said, "Well, because you want to keep it. I know you're loyal to this dress. You need to remove that trim because it's dated, and you need to do X, Y, and Z." And when I pitched the idea to her, she loved it. Just like one of the
Right.
designers for New York, we completely redid her collection because I'm like, I'm totally confused here. Like,
Right.
what are we doing? Winter? Like, I don't know. And so by the time the meeting was over, I think I removed 6 pieces, but she still had enough to meet the minimum.
Right.
And some of the pieces we broke up and turned into 2 pieces. So that's what I do. It's not about, oh, pay your money, because I don't want your money if you don't have quality. I'm
Right.
sorry. You can keep it.
Right. No, that is very true. So again, thank you guys, all you guys over there on Periscope that are still here. We definitely really appreciate you guys. Natasha, Hot Cat, you popping in and out. Jacqueline, Coach Dave
Coach
as well.
Dave!
Yes. So as you can see, this is a full-on production. It is more to it than just, throwing up some clothes and then, putting on some music. You do have to have a story. You do have to have a little bit of know-how, and then having someone who can definitely help you. So again, Sharon Nixon with Baltimore Fashion Week. Can you tell people where they can find you and how they can get more information about Baltimore Fashion Week that is coming in August?
Yes, you can go to our site. So it's basically what Shannon has there, but squeezed together. So it's baltimore-fashionweek.com. You can find me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. I'm on all of the social media channels, LinkedIn. You can call me at 443-376-8600. That's my number. Yes, it does ring to my phone. And that's pretty much it. We do have a casting on a final casting. This is just for New York only because two of the designers still want to look at additional models. So we have a casting on the 29th of June, which is next Saturday, and it's at 1 o'clock, and it's open to all height models, which means petite and standard, and the sizes are from 0 to 16, male and female. So if you're in the Baltimore area, put a dash in between Baltimore and fashion, please, because that'll take them somewhere else that they don't want to
Oh
be.
Lord, no.
Exact. That's a story we need to have offline. There you go.
Okay.
There's my baby. There's my baby. So if you want to talk about next year, because we know our fee can be kind of steep for some, and if you have what it takes and you get approved and you want to do a payment plan, you can do that. We don't expect people to just pay the registration fee all out because we know life happens. I get
Right.
it. I'm living life. And
Yeah.
so we just want quality designers. And if that means next year we have 30 quality designers, that's what we'll have.
Right. So that's the good part. It's so you understand that again. Oh, that's the good part. No, there's no bad part. Well, the bad part is not being able to do it at all. So, for those of you
Oh,
guys who are definitely into fashion and you want to know more, you definitely can connect with Sharon at baltimore-fashionweek.com. That's Baltimore dash. Don't forget to put that dash in there. Put the dash on over to fashionweek.com. So, baltimore-fashionweek.com. So be sure you do that. So we definitely appreciate Baltimore-fashionweek.com for being our sponsor of the Big Cup for Big Cup Thursday. And again, here it is. I have drank all the water. So that usually means it's time to go. So I am definitely appreciating this time and having this opportunity to work with Sharon Nixon also, as we got Natasha and Hot Cat and Jacqueline and Sharon, a part of the Survive and Thrive team, keeping that moving along. And we look forward to next year because we're going to be in Baltimore. So that's what we're going to be doing.
Well, you got a place. It's so awesome.
Yes, that's going to be interesting. I can't wait.
I love that. I love that. I
Yes,
love that.
it's going to be great.
Shannon, thank you so much. Although this was a sponsorship opportunity or whatever you want to call it, but thank you for having the opportunity available.
Right.
And I'll see you again soon for another program.
Oh, I know. Thank you guys. So thank all of you guys over there on Periscope, YouTube, Twitch, Facebook. Thank all of you guys for watching and tuning in. Definitely come back again. We'll be doing it again. We come live every day, as you guys know. But be sure, if you would like to be a sponsor of the Big Cup, supporting Survive and Thrive and being a part of the platform, definitely you can go. You can also be a sponsor of Survive and Thrive by just going to this link, bit.ly/Survive and Thrive sponsor. And as you know, you can get your tickets for the event. We're going to be live in Houston. And so it's going to be great. So we want to have you guys there. So, wow. With that, Baltimore-fashionweek.com. Don't forget, you guys, check her out. You want them tickets, you want to be there, you're in the Baltimore area, don't forget to be there and check her out. So thank you guys over there.
Thank you, Shannon. Bye, everybody.
Welcome.
Everybody else is whirling.
Bye.